D. So step one, you got to take your E string and drop it down to D, delta. You can use a tuner or you can use your ear if you have a good ear for these things. You can pluck your E string and then roll down the tuner until you hear it form a chord. It'll make a distinct sound. And it's good to learn how to do this because it teaches your ear to identify pitch. So I'm going to do it right now on the fly, watch. Hear that? That's a chord. Now you're in drop and you can play chords with 2 strings. Well, really 3. You get the root 5th octave. It's kind of like a power chord with an octave, or a full power chord with 1 finger. So many great songs are in this tuning because it makes it easier to play things, and it puts things in reach inside your box where your hand is at that wouldn't ordinarily be in reach. So Killing in the Name of... Okay, so I want to go over the parts for Killing in the Name of from Rage Against the Machine. Of course, I did a previous video that shows you how to put your guitar in drop D. This song has to be in drop D in order for your hands to be in the right places to play it. And for the big opening chord, which is just a D without the last string. You're not going to have that high E in there, but the rest of that, with your drop D, you're playing the top 5 strings, so strings 2 through 6, and it sounds like this. The next part's real easy. It's on fret 6 with the A string, and using your open, which is now a D, you're going. Real easy. The next part is on string 4 and 3. That's your delta string and your G golf string. Sometimes I use delta and G because G, C, D, D, but all that sounds the same. So you're going to use the same kind of pedal tone on your open D, and then you're going to do a hammer on, and then down to the next string, hammer on. From 11 to 12, go down a string, and then 11 to 12. Times, and on the 4th time you're going to just bend on the 12th fret, the second part of the riff. I realize now that I'm doing like a hammer on and then an off. Then the main part of the riff, going into the part of the song that everyone loves, is down here on the 3rd and the 5th fret, really. It's right in this box, so what you'd call the 3rd position. The riff goes. This is why you need the guitar in drop D, because if you didn't, those notes would be either unavailable or in different places, depending on which note. And so you wouldn't be able to play it. So you have to drop tune for this song. So I'm doing a hammer on from 3 to 5 on my A string. Then I'm going down to the delta string, and I'm doing a hammer on, but I'm not going to the 5, I'm only going to the 4. And it's good to use 3 fingers for this so that you can go, because you're going to go back up to the A string on the 5th fret to finish that part of the riff before you do the little return, what you might call a return. That's just open 2, 3, 2. So that's that part. then the next part, leading into the even better part of the song, you're going to do the same kind of hammer on. But then you're going to go to your delta string on the 9th fret. And then you're going to repeat the same thing to the 8th fret. And you're going to repeat the same thing to the 7th fret. Watch what I do. Well, that's really... Notice too, another thing that I'm doing while I'm playing this riff, I'm giving you the complicated part, but there's some things in between. Jun, jun. That's called a pedal tone. So listen for the pedal tone. And I'm just palm muting. A lot of rock and metal songs have those as kind of like fill notes in between the chords of the progression or chords of a riff. Sometimes a guitarist will go those are called pedal tones. Learn how to do that. Also, you need to be able to palm mute. It's easy to do. Just lay your hand, your palm, this part on the bridge. You gotta kind of have to hear it. It depends on the guitar and the body style and the bridge setup where you need to put your hand, but you can experiment with it. I'll move it around. You can hear how it sounds at different places. So that's how it's doing. Yeah. And you can lift up for dramatic effect. Palm muting. Gotta have it. Finally, the last part of the riff has this part. This is just the octave of D, the octave of delta, and the delta. So I'm playing a power chord on 5/7 with my A and my D strings, but I'm also including the lower delta string to make it a huge delta. Using palm muting and controlling on my fingers. When I have the chord articulated, it will sound, but in order to get full stops in between the sounds, I may lift up my fingers so that they're not pressed down, they're just touching the strings, and I'll use palm muting, and that'll control the sound. This is a bit more of an advanced technique. It comes with practice and playing, but you'll get kind of how to, you don't want to go. In order to get it to go, I wanted to just stop. Stop. Then, the last part, that's 3, 4. Then you go play an octave again, right here. This one's kind of tricky. Watch it. But that's really just one finger right here. Watch, I'm just holding one finger. And it completes the chord. I think that's pretty much it. It's obviously more complicated than that. I'm not playing perfect because I'm trying to kind of talk and show you things. Hopefully that was helpful. Comment, like, subscribe, follow whatever we do here. I don't know. I'm putting this on all kinds of platforms. So, mad love from Joshua Clear.